What is up, Streamland? I am your host, JD Rosario from Unstoppable Comics, and I'm here to talk about comic books and anything in geek space with you guys tonight. We are in October. This is spooky season with a cute and a creepy coming rolling on out. And tonight we're going to be talking about what is some of your favorite underrated horror movies. So for anybody who is joining us on the chat, please jump in. Don't hesitate. We'll bring some of that stuff into the conversation as the night goes on. I'm going to bring in the cast of semi-regulars, but before I do that, I want to let you know that next weekend we're going to be at the New York Comic Con with Unstoppable Comics, booth 1948. And on Thursday, we are going to be launching the campaign for the Shield of the Interceptor action figure. So if you are going to be at the convention, please stop by booth 1948. Come check us on out. You could see the fig. You could help us maybe get our feet higher off the ground than we need to get that bad boy funded. Now, I'm going to bring in some of the guys that are going to be hanging out with us tonight, talking about their favorite underrated horror movies. First up is my man. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Also known sometimes as cute and creepy. What's up, everybody? I've been invited back.
You're always invited. What makes you think
I'm
you're not
busting your
invited
chops.
back,
I'm
bro?
busting your chops.
Come on. I don't want people to think that I don't let people in. No, they're always welcome. Always welcome to be.
Hi.
He added you
It removed himself.
and removed himself. So I guess I'm hosting.
Hey, hi.
I guess I'm hosting now.
everybody?
Hey, Jerry, introduce yourself again.
It's been a long time. Oh, Calderon, you just popped up
Hey,
there.
that's
Hey, how you doing?
I guess it's our show now. Jay's gone.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jason,
We
What about
kicked
what
Jay
you
the
want?
hell out of here.
gentlemen.
That's it. Let's talk about
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh, okay, I'm in. Let's go. Which direction we going? What is your most underrated?
Yes. So yeah, that is the topic of the show. Maybe when we get the actual numbskull host back in here, we'll
No.
start talking about that
Forget
stuff.
him. Let's talk
But,
to the audience. Hey, audience, how are you?
Yeah, as if they're gonna respond, right?
Mhm.
You guys excited for next week for Comic-Con? I know we may see you guys there. JD, are you going over there? I know Jerry. Jerry, you're going, right? You're not going this year?
Books right now, yeah.
Yeah, I
And,
don't have any plans of going. You know, it's just one of those
Can anybody put up that? Anybody put up?
Yeah.
Travis, thank you, Travis. We appreciate it.
There you go. Travis knows what he's talking about.
Oh man, this is great.
yeah, exactly. We take the opportunity to kind of bust JD's chops, and of course, he's talking crap about my equipment right before the show. And what
And
happens?
he just
His
went out.
laptop just restarted.
Is he texting you?
Yeah, he just texted me.
That's
So I guess
Oh, JD.
we'll vamp for a few minutes. So yeah, the topic of the show is going to be what is your favorite, or not your favorite, but
underrated
mostly,
Star Wars
yeah,
movie?
yeah. Well, some of those are horror movies. No, we're going to be doing your most underrated horror movie. Well, we'll go over that when Jay comes back. But besides horror, leave it out. What have you guys been watching, playing, reading, or whatever recently? I'll start with one. I just started. Speaking of Star Wars, I just started playing that Star Wars Outlaws game, and it is very meh. It's okay. It is a game. Let's put it that
It's
way.
open world, right?
Yeah, it's an open world kind of smuggler's fantasy. So if you wanted to play like Han Solo, except this one is not that fun. You play as a smuggler. You get no force powers, no Jedi. You know, you're on a speeder. You got your little pew pew. You got a ship. Doing a lot of how do you say it? A lot of
Sideways.
step. You see, there it goes. A lot of thievery, a lot of smuggling, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's all right. Watching Agatha. You guys watching Agatha?
I have not picked that up yet. No.
You know,
Well, listen, just before I came on here, I had to make a serious decision. I was watching Hellboy the Crooked Man, right? I just bought it.
Ah,
You know,
okay.
and let me tell you something. If you're a Hellboy fan, like you read the actual Mike Mignola comics and the Richard Corbin illustrated story that this is based on, I think you might feel it. The movie feels like, and I'm only about 20 minutes into it, and it's like a low budget horror movie. You know,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what it feels like. I mean, if you go into it thinking Guillermo del Toro, high end action adventure, you know, whatever. No,
High
that's
fantasy stuff. No,
not
yeah.
it. That's why a lot of people are knocking it because they only know it from the Guillermo del Toro movies, right? So they think of high end action, lots of special effects, all that stuff. No, think of Evil Dead 1.
Oh, like original Evil Dead.
Yeah, the first one.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Think of old school horror movie. You know, in the Appalachian Mountains. So you know, you have, you know, it's dirty and grimy as F.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just what it is.
Hey, he's back.
I've been enjoying it.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That's too bad that we got this guy back.
We had a chance to leave the show in a good direction.
I know.
That's just how my day is.
Travis stated the whole thing.
That's how my day is.
At least he got off his intro.
Perfect microcosm of JD's day right there.
Yeah.
We just started. We're vamping for a little bit. We're talking about stuff we've just started watching, not including horror stuff. So we didn't do any of that.
Thanks, Travis.
And I've gone sideways again. All right, we're just.
This is quite a show. Should I drop my camera again like before?
We're just doing this.
We're having a grand time tonight. Everybody.
We're going portrait today.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys, that's how my day is going.
Production's been drinking.
Comic-Con is New York Comic-Con is next week. I've got a full plate, and it's just like, god damn, everything is getting in the way. Everything is happening. Everything that can go wrong is
Murphy's Law. Yes,
Murphy's Law to the fullest. And you know, it's not enough for me to deal with that. I've got to add more to my plate with launching a action figure Kickstarter next week. Oh my god, guys!
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, is anybody into, you know, as much self torture as I am? I don't know. I don't know. Does that make me a masochist?
Yes.
Yes, that's literally the definition.
I'm running a campaign every 6 weeks or so, so you know, maybe.
Damn, brother. Yeah, no. So, how's everybody doing?
Oh, we got into that. We're good.
Yeah, we already answered this question. You're the one that answered, sir.
Yeah, we were just fine.
Yes.
We started talking about stuff we were watching recently until you came back, so we could jump into the topic of the show.
So, what are you guys watching?
I'm watching anime.
Yeah. Which anime? Something new, something recent, or you catching up on 1,000 episode of some 20-year long?
I'm not catching up on One Piece. I am not driving myself crazy with that. I'm waiting for the new release of that where everything is more condensed, which Netflix is doing. But right now there's an anime called Blue Lock. It's heavy on soccer. The second season just launched. There's one called Tower of God. Second season just launched. And then there's a couple that I'm watching with my son. So we go back and forth between me and him, what he likes, what I like, and then just stick from there.
Yeah, I've never been able to get into anime. The closest I get is like an anime adaptation of Western properties. So did you guys catch Terminator Zero on Netflix?
No, I haven't started it yet.
It's pretty good, and I mean I say that as a Terminator fan, but
and Alien's supposed to do one as well, right?
Yeah, Cyberpunk video game did it also. It's called Edge Runners. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's supposedly some others that are coming out.
Batman's doing one. Batman versus Yakuza.
And I mean that's based on a book, right? You guys would know better than me, but isn't that based on a book?
I don't remember.
I have no idea.
But I've seen figures at Comic-Con, like actual action figures at Comic-Con of Batman with his suit is like the samurai. Yeah,
but they do that as a cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that anyway as a cross. They don't do that just based off a comic.
But
They
that's
love
that's
doing
already
that.
been out for a minute though.
Which
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
That's been out for
And
a
those
minute.
actually wasn't there an
There's
animated
a-
Batman movie where he was in
Yes.
Japan? Yeah.
Yeah, you can. It's on HBO Max. You can. They got it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, The Matrix has done it.
Yes.
What is
And
it?
Matrix.
There's that Kill Bill section.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
the anime. Remember that?
What Kill Bill?
Kill
Kill
Bill has
Bill.
a whole section.
It has a
Yeah.
section in it that's done it that was done by the same studio that did Neon Genesis, Evangelion, something like that.
In the middle of it,
I mean-
it cuts over to an anime style.
Yeah. But that's because
When
it
it
was
gives the-
inspired, right? That's
What is it? It gives the backstory of
Of the lady who
the leader, Lucy Liu's
yeah, Lucy Liu's
character.
character, yeah.
Her whole backstory is done in anime format.
JD's not listening to us, so
Yeah,
don't,
No,
don't worry about
I
it.
100% listening.
He's just not remembering.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
this
not
is stuff that
I
I,
think
you know.
you know what it is. I think the glasses are his kryptonite. I think it's like they're removing IQ points for some reason. I was like, yeah,
He's trying to
Oh,
look
man.
smart. It's making him
Memory.
dumber.
probably
Jesus,
you know.
that's
You
bad.
guys-
He was already starting in the negative.
You
Yeah.
guys,
So,
with
Jay.
friends like you.
What have you been watching?
There you go.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
His
Yes,
computer
yes,
screen.
yes. Oh,
I mean, since you're back now, we can talk to you.
you know, I've been watching nothing because I got Comic-Con coming up.
I told you, it's computer screen.
Yeah.
You know,
That was a real interesting answer. Good job.
no,
Way to engage, buddy.
I try to watch Agatha all along with my wife. My mom
any
likes
good?
that Murders in the Building. What's up? Is it good?
That's
It's
a no.
okay.
Good anymore?
That's a
What's
solid no. That's a solid like man.
Yeah,
It's watchable. Let's put it this: it's watchable, right?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, for me, it has nothing to do with Marvel. Like, it
Okay.
could just be any other show on TV or
So
streaming.
just
But
says if you fall asleep on it, it's okay.
yeah. But I'll give you this. So, what's the name of the lead actress that plays Agatha? I forget her name. She's good.
Catherine
Um,
Hahn.
Yes.
Catherine
um,
Hahn, Aubrey Plaza, Patty LuPone.
Aubrey Plaza's funny, of course.
I don't know.
She
dude.
is because you know why? She's not even acting in half of those scenes that she's in.
But
She's
you know,
just being like she's just reacting, which is
this
kind of
is
funny.
her
to me.
second Marvel role.
Hers?
Those are first.
Yeah. She was on the show Legion for a minute,
Oh.
which was on FX, right?
Oh, was that a Marvel show?
That was the
Not-
Marvel Fox.
Yeah, so not a Marvel as we know it now. Yeah.
It's part of it now. It's part of
Yeah.
it now, right? If we could count Josh Brolin
Nope.
as multiple Marvel roles, then we can't count Aubrey, right? If we could count what should we call it, Chris Evans with multiple Marvel roles, can we count
Yeah,
Aubrey?
true. Fair. That's fair.
Right?
Even
I
though
I
you
mean,
know
if
the
you
multiple
don't
characters that both Chris Evans and Josh Brolin played, not Aubrey Plaza.
I mean, if you don't mind, there's something to say about that. Nobody
What's
cares.
up?
Nobody
Yeah.
cares. Nobody cares.
here I am thinking you're about to make a point. Nobody cares.
That was
No,
his
you
point.
should have known.
like
too
in
earnest.
the show. Like in the
You're
show.
too
like
earnest
in the
there.
show.
Nobody
Thank
cares.
you. You know, I got people watching the show on Instagram, so I want to say thank you to those who are watching us on Instagram. Our boss man, Flint Tribe, Cap Santiago, Jiveco, Life of Ed, and a few others who I can't see because of the cutout that I had. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for those who are catching us on YouTube and on Facebook as well. So if you're watching us on Instagram and you want to join the chat, please join Comic Book Streamland on Facebook or on YouTube and then chime in. Let me hear what you guys got to say. Or ladies, if you're watching, you know, hello, you look at us with all this meat. You know what I mean? This is private. This
That
is
really turned them off. Good job.
Yeah. Talk about the creepy part of the
Jesus.
cute and creepy earlier.
Wow.
Speaking of the cute and the creepy, Ryan, you put something up today that looks awesome when it comes to the cute and the creepy. You
Show it off, baby. Show it off.
I'm looking for it. I need a better producer on the show.
You need a producer.
I want to use Calderon's producer. I think we both use the same producer.
No. My producer actually gets things done.
Oh,
wow.
So
I'll put in a couple purchase requests for some equipment.
I got it.
Jay,
I got it right.
producer.
I got it right here. I'm pulling it all up, and this is something that we're going to have at New York Comic Con. Okay, this is the cute and the creepy. This is our Betsy the Zombie of Liberty pin, our New York versus the World pin, and our Betsy glow in the dark. Look at her shine, baby. Look at her shine. That's going to be limited
dope.
to just 50 units at the New York Comic Con. All right, this is her during the day. All right, and this is what Betsy looks like normally. And then there's our New York versus the World pin. And the Unstoppable Comics pin that's up there in the hat as well. Great side-by-side shot.
Is that a Mets cap?
The what's up?
Is that a Mets cap?
No, that is
God damn it.
The only one team that is registered throughout all sports in the city of New York. All right.
Whoa! What?
Yeah.
Well, come on. The Mets are in the playoffs too. Let's not do something that we begin to hate each other on. Okay?
I'm happy for you.
Let's not do
happy
this.
for you.
Be nice.
Listen,
I'm happy for you.
Until the Mets win it, and this is now a sports talk podcast.
All right.
Until the Mets win it, it doesn't matter.
Let's not do this.
All right.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you guys won as well? So
how long has it been since you guys won?
I know how long it's been. I'm a Mets fan for my whole life.
Yeah. So we've got what?
But it doesn't matter. It's still been a while for you guys
since
too.
then?
It's still been a while for you guys too.
This is the
and
perfect
Judge hasn't have a hit, right? All
he had a double yesterday.
Oh,
he had an RBI double yesterday.
For what? 47?
26.
Let's go on. All right.
All right. Listen. You know what? That's all well and great, right? I suffer as a Jet fan. Carol doesn't even care about sports. He can't even spell the freaking word. So
listen, you can take a little stick and ball sports.
Hey,
I heard chicken boss points and something else.
What's in that cup, Jay?
But why do you think we have problems with this system?
He spilled it on it.
Right?
He's knocking it over.
But goddamn, look at the way Betsy shines. That's truly glow in the dark, folks.
Yes,
that is awesome.
Damn, I wonder who took those photos. Let me think on that.
Look at that. So if you want to get your hand on that exclusive for New York Comic Con, you can find us at booth 1948. She will be there, but she will go fast. She is going for $15 a pop. The others go for 10. Hopefully that keeps it there long enough for the people who really, really want it. But goddamn, she's looking good, man. She's looking good. There's going to be a few other surprises, but you got to go to the booth 1948.
5 days.
Get your hands on that. All
5
right,
5 days.
Days, guys. 5 days. All right, so we got a couple of plugs out the way. We got a couple of sports talk out of the way. Let's include Calderon on this conversation and talk about the topic at hand for the evening. All right. What do you think is your favorite? What can you say is a really good underrated horror movie? Something that really should have gotten more love than it got on its initial release. Maybe still holds up today. Whether it's one specific element, as in story, cinematography, creepiness. Was it something that they did new that you'd never seen in any other horror movie before? And I'm not eliminating any genre, slasher, thriller, right? Any subgenre of horror fills in. All right, I think we could maybe get to 2 of them on our table. So what's your first one?
All right. Well, while you were gone.
God damn it.
While you were gone, we were talking. And I said, literally, I had to make a decision to come on this show and talk to you guys. because I started watching Hellboy: The Crooked Man.
Oh,
Okay, it's out. It's
Okay.
on Amazon. It's $20. I paid the full price. I don't care. I'm a
okay.
fan. And I was telling the guys, I was like, look, if you're an actual Hellboy fan, right? Meaning
Yeah.
you read the comics, forget the movies. If you read the comics, you might enjoy this film. And here's the thing about this film: it is a low-budget horror movie. That's what it
Okay.
is. Don't expect all the glitz that you get from the Guillermo movies. You know, even the Harbor movie is way higher in production value. Like this looks like, I was telling them, like Evil Dead 1.
Yeah, man. I'm with that.
That's
good.
That's the type of horror movie this is. But it has Hellboy in it. Okay, so that's what you got to think about it. It's like, you know, you have an actual action hero who's a demon or whatever, but he's in a horror movie. And like I watched maybe the first 30 minutes of it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. And look, I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably watch it again when we're done with the show. I'll go finish watching it. I'll probably watch it again tomorrow, and when the Blu-ray comes out, I'll buy that because I'm that kind of crackhead.
I'm a Hellboy fan. I didn't pick up the individual issues. I got a bunch of trades. I don't have the omnibus that you do. I'm not as deep into it as you are with the BRPD stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, because this was originally illustrated by Richard Corbin, incredible illustrator.
Okay.
Written by Mike Mignola. I don't know if they worked on the story together. I mean, which wouldn't surprise me if they did, because Corbin was an incredible writer in his own right. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like I said, so far by what I've seen, I've been enjoying. So
nice. Okay, all right. So that's your underrated pick. That's your first one. That's awesome. Yeah. Jerry, what do you think your favorite or something you think needs to get a lot more love?
Okay, so first I will have to put a qualifier. I hate horror movies. I don't like watching them. I don't like sitting through them. I don't like any version of them.
Okay.
I really don't.
Hey, Blade was pitched as a vampire horror action flick.
It wasn't enough. It didn't qualify because of the vampire aspect for me, because I don't find that to be horror. So
okay,
I find that to be more supernatural.
Oh, so then if you don't qualify vampires as horror, then you got a bunch of movies you could actually pick from.
Yes,
that
100%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right,
100%. But
the stat.
I don't. Okay, so. I only watched one series, and I've watched every single movie in this series. And it doesn't matter in what generation.
If you say Twilight, I'm leaving.
That's not a horror movie.
You're about to say
vampires. Barely a movie.
Okay.
No. Okay. They definitely were horror movies.
Not in the way we're talking.
They're scary, but
they were horrible.
Oh yeah, okay.
Scream 3. So
okay,
I watched.
Okay.
The first two to me were fun. The first one was great. I thought the first one was very different for the time, so I don't think that one's underrated in any way. I think that holds up
that one's
to what people believe that should have been. The second one was basically a remake of the first one, just in college. That's what that whole thing felt like. But the third one, the reason I find it to be underrated is because first, it decided to go away from what you had created in the first two movies. There was only one killer. So there was only one bad guy the whole time.
Wait, Scream 3? No, there were two killers.
No, there was one. Only one person was the killer. And it ended up being her brother, who had done everything in the first two movies. He had set up everything. So you gave us a conclusion to her story. You gave us, to me, it was just a great way of closing everything out that I had come to at least enjoy by the end of the second one. And I thought it was still a very good slasher film. I just thought using the Hollywood aspect, creating the movie while being in the movie.
The meta aspect.
Yes, the cool. Meta was fun.
But and they started the meta in the second one with what's his name?
Yes. Cotton.
Yeah, I forget his and not only him, but the fact that he's like, oh, these are the rules for the horror movie.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Right. But he started that in the first one. He was talking about the rules in the first one.
Did he? Was he?
Yeah. He's been talking about the rules since the first one.
Okay.
He just died in
so then it's always been meta.
A video in the third. But the third one I thought was a good closer. It was a good way to close out a trilogy and a good way to say, hey, this is how we're tying everything up. So that for me was always underrated. because nobody really thinks back to Scream 3 and goes like, "Ah, this is great."
Yeah, three is definitely not one that I would pick out as like the. But then
Yeah.
again, we're talking underrated, not one that's obviously properly rated.
Exactly.
Okay. What about you, Ryan?
So this is tough because it's hard to pick, at least for me, like something that is necessarily underrated, or maybe just I feel like I kept going more towards not as popular, um, or like didn't do well at the box office, or because unless you're going to like the Shutter specials, like, and you
Yeah.
love one of those, there's not going to be many that are really good that have not like been critically acclaimed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I can't find anyway. So I went back as far as I could. I found one called that I haven't seen since, but in 2003, a movie called High Tension. It's a
Yeah.
French flick.
Mhm.
Um,
Good movie.
yeah, it's very good. So I'll read you the plot synopsis real quick. The plot focuses on two female students who drive to one of their family's secluded farmhouses to study for their exams, where a murderer shows up on the night of their arrival. And as you
Is it
can
French
probably
or German?
imagine,
I thought it was German.
French,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought it was German for some reason. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I think it's French. It's French.
Okay.
Directed by Alexandre Aja. I don't know who that is. I've never seen anything
Aha!
of his before or after. It's kind of twisted, and it's also in that really low budget look, low budget feel. The trailer for it, we can't watch it obviously. I will try to describe it in PG terms, but the trailer is, they show up to the country house. It's country farmland in the French countryside, right? And they cut to this guy in a truck, like he's watching a family playing, like a woman with their kid playing in a cornfield or a wheat field or something.
Okay.
And you see that he's doing something in the truck, something kind of sexual, right? Auto sexual. And then you look inside the
Okay.
truck and there's a head. So you're like, oh, this guy's, getting some on the side of the road over here. The car starts to drive off and then he throws the head out the window. That's the end of the trailer. So that just kind of sets up the crazy kind of grotesque gore. But
Yeah.
there isn't as much of that gore as you would expect throughout the movie, but it's excruciatingly high tension. It really is high tense movie. And that was real fun. But I was looking for it today, and you can't find it anywhere on any streaming service. It's not on Amazon.
Listen
Not
to
on
the trailer
Netflix.
you just pitched us. You know what I mean?
So I
You
think
get a little
I
sloppy
think-
toppy from the headless.
Yeah,
club there,
exactly.
bro. Come on.
Exactly. That's another way of getting head, right? Anyway,
Wow.
I think you can watch it on
Getting
YouTube.
a head. You're right.
I think you can watch it on YouTube in its entirety. But if you have a chance to watch that, you're not squeamish. High Tension from 2003 is a fun one. Very
Okay.
tense.
Okay.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back a ways. I'm gonna go to the
Oh
90s.
Jesus, we're going to the 70s.
I'm not that fucking old, man. Get out of here with that
Were you
bullshit.
not born in the 70s though?
I was born in the 70s,
All
man.
right. Okay.
But I will say, you know what? I will add this little tidbit. Ain't nothing horrier.
Horrier?
Ain't nothing scarier than a horror from the 70s. There's something about that low budget, that psychological. There were so many Satanist demon cult style movies that were just freaky, even when they were edited to the Saturday afternoon movie, right, on your local channels.
Channel
It was just-
11.
Channel 11, Channel 5.
Macaroni and cheese.
I would just be like, whoa, they took that spaghetti western sauce blood effect into American cinema, and it was just like, but I want to go back I want to go to the 90s, a Clive Barker film called Lord of Illusion. It was with Scott Bakula, Mr. Quantum Leap. I don't know if he did many movies. I know this was somewhere around the end of Quantum Leap, or definitely before the Star Trek show that he did, right? But it's not a Cthulhu style movie. It's more of a film noir movie. Takes place in California. He's a private detective, and he is hired by, that trope, right? The hot femme fatale hires a private investigator to find her husband or XYZ, fill in the blanks. And as he goes searching, he finds this popular magician, this David Copperfield kind of guy, really got his magical skill from this cult. And the woman that he married, the wife that hired him, was a girl that was supposed to be sacrificed by the cult. So it's kind of, what was that? What's that theory when the person gets kidnapped by the people and then they end up becoming part of the
Stockholm syndrome?
The Stockholm syndrome, right? So she married him pretty much out of that, or maybe out of loyalty, or maybe she was protecting him. He was protecting her. Who knows? But the guy was a real cultist, real Satan worshiper, and
wasn't it Femke?
Yeah, Femke Jensen. Woo, the height of her hotness.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. This was before X-Men too.
This was before X-Men.
So, yeah, this is definitely before X-Men. Before X-Men and after James Bond, I think.
No, I didn't even know.
So it had that feel of a 1940s film noir thing, but it was set in the 90s. And just he kept going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, and the effects were tame for Clive Barker because he was telling a story. He wasn't all the way out there like he was with the Hellraiser films, right? And I am more interested in the fact that he had to be restrained. I don't know if it was by budget or by story or by choice, by neither or by both, but whatever it was adds that layer of interest for me in that flick, right? Because you didn't have the Pinhead characters. You didn't see them show up, because here we are thinking that the guy who led this cult was gonna unbreakable it, right? Or show up at the end of that movie, and you're gonna find out that it was Bruce Willis that connects that whole film trilogy together, right? But Pinhead didn't show up. No. He was just somebody that worshipped the devil. But it was.
So did he create his own little universe back then? Is that what you're saying, Barker?
Yeah.
Did he? Because Nightbreed wasn't connected to Hellraiser.
The Barkerverse? Now I got to go back and watch.
Yeah, there's the Barkerverse. I mean, it's very weird because I've read a bunch of the books.
Okay.
I can't say I read them all, but I've read a bunch of them. And stuff like shit, I'm drawing a blank, but no, a lot of the books do tie in together, but like in a very tangential kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, every once in you throw a little tidbit here and there, not like major arcing.
Yeah, like Eve World kind of fits in with some of the Hellraiser stuff and all this other stuff. So.
Yeah. Right, and you were kind of waiting for that aha moment, like, oh yeah, it's all connected. But spoiler, it didn't happen. But the story was awesome, right? The story was awesome. Oh, David chimes in with a nice one over here. The Serpent and the Rainbow. Woo! I don't know if anybody saw this.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one where
Arrow plays the devil.
Serpent and the Rainbow?
Well, who plays the devil?
That's not the Robert. That's not where Robert De Niro.
Sorry, I'm thinking Angel Heart. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Angel Heart, yes, and he did that. He's incredible in that.
Yes, no, Serpent and the Rainbow. Which is the one where the?
That's where I think you got the guy down in the chair, and they put a nail through his private part.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey man, you had a decapitated head on per somebody's private part.
Which is the one where the guy forgot he sold his soul to the devil?
That's Angel Heart.
That's Angel Heart.
Oh. That's Angel Heart. And he forgot. He did a spell so that he would forget.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
why the devil kept trying to remind him, because he had forgotten. You know, there's the whole thing with eating the heart. He'd done this crazy spell. He was an evil son of a bitch.
Serpent in the Rainbow was with I want my bird. What's his name? Mickey Rourke, the wrestler. The one from
that's
Iron
from
Man 2. I want my
He's the
bird.
Iron Man. I want my.
Wait a
I
second,
want
Mickey
my
Rourke
bird.
was in
No,
Angel Heart?
Mickey Rourke's not in it.
Angel Heart, yeah.
Okay, so Spaceballs was in Serpent in the Rainbow,
Maybe.
right?
I don't remember. I like
Who's
Angel Heart, I'm a
Spaceballs?
real fan of. The other movie I've seen once or twice, but it's been a while.
Spaceballs, the guy, Bill Pullman.
No,
Yes,
I know
Bill
what
Pullman is
you're
Serpent in
talking
the
about, but I
Rainbow.
just haven't seen either one of those movies in a minute. So.
Right. So Serpent in the Rainbow was the one that happened in Haiti. Yeah.
Right. That's
Okay.
the one. Like I said, they have him in a chair and they put a nail through his
Why don't I remember?
It was junk. Wonderful.
Yes.
Because of the nail through the junk.
Yeah.
The nail through
That's a
the
good.
junk. Okay.
That's a good thing to forget.
Yeah.
Okay. What about I want to jump back into everybody who is following us over there on Instagram. Savvy Designs, Emilia Roman, Chawan Cut. Chawan Cut, bro, I hope you are coming to New York Comic Con this year. My Hawaiian brother, miss you. Blurred City, thank you all. Please, if you want to chime in, jump on over to Comic Book Streamland on YouTube, where we can see what you got to say, because Instagram doesn't let us share any of that here yet. David's coming back with, if I'm correct,
Yes,
Wes
it is a Wes Craven.
Big voodoo based. Yes. Okay. All right. So we went around the block. Let's go back to Calderon. You got another pick for underrated horror movie?
I got like 9 of them. So
Yeah, I had a bunch that are honorable mentions
Okay.
over here.
All right. We can do honorable mentions. What? This is good.
hey, look. I'll throw out 3, right? But I'll only talk about 1. Right? Audition, right? Which is a Takahashi Miki movie out of Japan.
Japanese. Yes.
Yes, sir. Takahashi Mike?
Miki.
Mickey.
That's how you pronounce his name, Miki. It's Takahashi Miki.
Okay.
From Beyond.
Beyond.
From Beyond.
H.P. Lovecraft movie.
Okay.
I think it was done by the same guy who did Reanimator. Stuart Gordon, I believe his name is.
Yep,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
And then Lair of the White Worm.
Jesus Christ, what is that? A drink?
That's from the 80s, I'm sure.
Yeah. Lair of the White Worm.
Yeah,
Awesome.
88, Ryan. 88.
Yeah.
They love the word lair in the 80s.
Awesome ass movie based on a Bram Stoker novel. I
Oh,
believe it's the last novel he wrote. I believe it's the last. I'm not sure, but it's one of the novels he's written. I don't know if it was. It might have been. I think it was the last one. Basically, what it is it's in England, obviously, and there's a cult, and they're digging. There's archaeologists, and they're digging up all these these old Roman baths and
the Mummy?
mosaics. No, I said Roman, not Egyptian. And this is in England, right? And they find this giant skull, right? And they're like, "What the hell is this?" And they find out that there's this giant snake that this cult has been feeding people to, and there's this one particular woman, and she's immortal because this snake god has been making her immortal because she keeps sacrificing virgins to it. And that's one of the big things in the movie. And it's considered a very sexualized movie. If you watch it, like some people consider like it's like a high level rated R, or like it's a 70s 80s rated R. It's not like rated R today. So it's it great movie.
Lair of the White Worm.
Yeah, the white, right. Just I don't remember anybody.
I think we should have some tequila with it.
I'm terrible with names. The guy who played Doctor Who, the older
Peter
one,
Capaldi. Peter Capaldi.
yes,
Yeah.
he's in the movie, and he's young. He doesn't look
Oh,
anything
wow.
like and
Hugh Grant.
and Hugh Grant. Yeah,
He's just reading it off Wiki. He does not memorizing this shit.
No, I'm reading. I don't even know the
Like,
name.
I
I'm
don't
no, I'm
remember.
on,
Peter
I'm on Google,
Capaldi.
baby. I'm on Google.
Yeah.
Wait. No,
That's
first of all,
fine.
Peter Capaldi, I knew when he
That's what
described.
Look, that's what it's there for.
Okay.
All right, let's get that
I
one
have to
straight.
remember
Peter
that.
Capaldi, I knew when you described.
Yeah.
I'm
But
a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah. But it is a good movie, though. I think it's a very, very good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, Audition, From Beyond. From Beyond, like I said, is based on an H.P. Lovecraft story. Stuart Gordon, great, another really good, creepy ass movie. So.
Okay. What do you got, Jerry?
All right, so Fallen, the Denzel Washington movie.
Yeah.
I have
Good
two
Fallen.
things with this. Fallen was the name of the movie. Okay, so he's a detective,
Okay.
and he has caught a serial killer,
Mhm.
and the serial killer is being put on death row, and he's about to be,
Wait,
taken away.
Calderon, you never heard of Fallen? Okay, Jerry, go.
A horror movie? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
It's a thriller. It's a
right
thriller.
now it sounds like a thriller, right? It
No,
doesn't sound
it's a thriller, and then it plays into possession, demonic possession, and that's how the serial killer lives on from place to place and person to person.
Oh,
He's jumping between
It's
bodies.
like
and all that.
Shocker, the Wes
Right.
Craven flick.
Gotcha.
So one of the major reasons that I love this movie is because it does something that a lot of movies don't end up doing at the end. And I still don't see a lot of. The bad guy wins.
Yeah.
He
That's nice.
completely wins. He
Well,
gets
that's
to
some of the
kill his
good-
nemesis. Huh?
That's some of the good horror flicks, though.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
bad
they're
guy
starting
wins.
they're starting to do that more and more. So
Yeah,
some
they
of the ones that
weren't
you
doing
probably
that for a
wouldn't
long
watch.
time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But he wins. He gets to kill his nemesis. He gets to make everybody feel horrible. It's like and then at the end, the ending part is what is the cherry on top, where he talks to the audience and goes like, "Did you guys really think I wouldn't live?"
Yeah.
And the cat comes underneath and just that was great.
Okay.
It was a
Spoilers.
creepy-ass movie.
Believe it or not,
Jesus Christ, 1990s.
believe it or not, that's actually an old H.P. Lovecraft trope.
Okay.
The heroes, they don't win. There are no winners in those stories. If you've ever read any of them, there's like one dude who got like balls of steel that just goes after these things, but everybody else is driven insane. Something horrible happened to them. But it's something that happens a lot in H.P. Lovecraft stories. So
Okay.
people don't win.
Ryan, what you got?
Again, yeah, this was difficult. So I just went back to one that I thought was very good, and it got critical reception. I don't know how well it did in the box office, but it had 2 stars. It's called The Strangers. Have you guys you've heard of this movie, The Strangers?
I've heard of this.
The one with Liv Tyler? And
Yes. And
and the guy
Scott
from Underworld?
Speedman.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, I've seen the previews for that one.
So this one, it kind of there's nothing supernatural about it. It's kind of a slasher in a sense, but all right. So essentially, what happens is this couple goes off to a remote cabin somewhere. Not even a remote cabin. They go
Just
to a
cabin.
home somewhere. It's a late night kind of home invasion thriller, horror, and it's one of the first that I saw that did something that I had always been clamoring for in horror movies, where jump scares are tedious. Like I don't like them. They don't scare me. I know when they're coming. So much so that like when I'm watching something with my fiance, we're sitting on the couch or whatever, I'll kind of like squeeze her hand to be like, get ready for the jump scare, because everything goes quiet. They
Yeah.
start looking around, and then they hit you with the loud 140 decibel bang, and you're supposed to be scared. Like that's not scary, right? But The Strangers did something where Liv Tyler's walking around the house, and she thinks she can hear somebody in the house. She's not sure. So she's looking around, and the guy will be standing in the background somewhere, out of focus. And only as she's walking through the scene do you get the chance to look around, and then you see him. So they don't focus on him, they don't put the camera on him. They just kind of wait for you to find him in the background. And that to me was really, really scary.
Nice.
They do that a bunch of times. I mean, the effect kind of wears off after a few times because now you're watching the background for that kind of stuff. But it's one of these like horror movies that is about specifically like how despicable just humans can be. One of the lines, and I don't know if it's specifically from this one, but there have been a couple of these movies where they go like, "Why are you doing this to us?" Like where the couple or the family that's getting attacked is asking the strangers, like, "Why are you doing this to us?" It's like because you were home. Like it's I don't know. It's one of those psychological kind of thrillers. It's not, like I said, it's not a
Yeah.
slasher or anything, but it is good.
So
And if you haven't seen it, I would watch that.
I wanna chime in on this. I had a creepy moment in real life that goes hand in hand maybe with this moment.
You looked in the mirror again?
I
Oh,
did
Jesus.
not.
Wow.
No.
What?
Gave yourself a stranger?
So the lefty.
Oh, sorry.
I rented a cabin with someone in West Virginia, right?
Oh.
In the Shenandoah Mountains.
What's
Wine-
Appalachian?
Wine
Oh,
country,
perfect.
Appalachia. There you go. You know already right there where we go with this here, boy.
I thought you said West Virginia, now South Carolina.
So sometimes when you travel with the opposite sex, they do not understand time management, right? And sometimes time management comes with repercussions, right? And
Don't get us canceled, Jay.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's like, relax here.
so headed
I'm
out
gonna clip this.
headed out from New York to West Virginia takes some time, right? And we didn't get to the cabin until about 1 a.m. I didn't see the dirt road that led up there, so I actually drove up the side of the mountain, which I didn't notice till the next day. I was like, I did that. But now here I am because I'm the man in this situation. And I said, listen, I'm going to go around the house and then I'm going to go inside to make sure that everything is safe. When I give you the sign, right, then you can come out and start unloading. But the second I walk out of this car, you lock the doors.
I'll
And
be
I do
right
that.
back.
I do that. Right? Now, I'm creeped out. I'm creeped out.
You try to be strong,
I'm trying to be strong.
I can do this. I can
So,
do this.
I need a breather before I go into the house. And I go to open up the door, right, to fake some communication moment. She actually locked the fucking door. She locked the fucking door.
You told her to.
I could have died. You know what I mean?
You told her to. You told her to.
Nobody protected me. But what makes it even funnier is, so the next day, we're in the cabin. And since we were there so late the previous night, we missed the actual terrifying event where at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, the actual Amtrak passes right through the grounds of the cabin area and shakes the fuck out of everything.
Oh, you would have been done.
Talking about, thinking either an earthquake or if you're a horror person, the ground is opening up and we're about to get swallowed in, right? So the strangers affected me. So did what was that movie where the couple gets the house and she was followed by her childhood demon?
That's not the Babadook, is it?
No. They made a series of it. And then it got spun off to a Spanish series, La Llorona, I think. It was a
Oh, you're
found
talking about
footage, it was a found footage flick.
I got
not
no idea.
you're not talking about paranormal activity.
Paranormal activity.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, no.
What
Never.
freaks you out is when the person that you saw the movie with at the end of the night tries to do the same things that the girl did in the movie.
No,
When you
no.
know, she knows that scared you.
It's just kind of messed up. But the second one, when the second one came out after the first one was such a big hit, I played it for my mom and I was like, look, this is real. And for like the first 5 minutes, I let her think that it was real, and she was freaked
You're a
out.
bastard.
That was bad.
You're
Sorry,
a
mom.
All right. My second underrated film, but I want to throw a nice little a shout out to this one. 1970s movie.
Oh my
Jerry.
God, I knew it.
For
I
you.
told you
Here
it
we
was
go.
coming. I told
All
you.
right. But dude, go back to the whole thing about they didn't have the special effects, so they had to lean more on story telling.
It had to
creep
be
you out,
scary. Like,
right? And it starred Albert Finney. It starred Gregory Hines, a young Edward James Olmos, a young Tom Noonan. It's called Wolfen, and it takes place in 1970s New York. Right? That's a good movie.
Terrible.
That was a good movie. That was a good movie, man.
But when you were like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, good movie.
I didn't say Q. I said Wolfen. Similar in styles, right?
The thing is, like at the same time, we had American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
Right. We also had what was the other werewolf movie?
we had the Michael Jackson Thriller video.
I said
this was later. That was later. So you didn't really get to see the wolf, right? You got to see from the wolf's perspective, which was pre-Predator, right? You know how Predator had the different infrathermal and whatever looks. So the werewolf had that skewed visual, right? And it had like a tweak to the sound. So you could see from the werewolf's perspective, and it was something different. But the hook of this, well, not the hook. One of the things the guys kept talking about in the movie was that after you're dead or after you've been killed, right, the brain is still functioning. So the brain knows what's going on, even though the body is dead, right? And one person keeps bringing it up. The other person doesn't believe it. And they're like, oh, we'll never know. We'll never know. We'll never know until it happens. And this is not the hook of the movie. This is just one of the running threads. And somebody gets decapitated. And you see that they still see everything going on from their perspective. And you're like, oh, it's true. So I am a fan of Wolfen. If you get the chance, check out Wolfen. 1970s.
1981.
New York is, which one?
1981.
1981. Okay. But it was filmed in the 70s, right? New York is burning. The Bronx, the burnt down tenement shelters.
That was dude, 81, 79, all the same thing. That point.
Right? So for the people who like the aesthetic of the first Joker movie, you'll get that in real time. They're in Wolfen.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you could also watch The Howling. That's the other one.
The Howling? No, dude.
And even better than The Howling, A Company of Wolves.
I didn't see A Company of Wolves.
Yeah. A little bit more obscure.
That's the one with the military guys?
No. That's like Dog Soldiers or something. That's from the 90s.
Okay. What about Brotherhood of the Wolf? It had a kind of little horror slant to it.
It had a little bit of kung fu action in it too, but
yeah, with the Iron Chef.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, I like that movie as well. So.
I like that movie. Vincent Cassel. The first time I also saw Monica Bellucci, right? I got the 3-disc DVD set, so I will never say that it's not a favorite of mine. And to see the extras in that, it's like really awesome. And they go into the whole Wolves of Saint
Augustine. Is it?
I don't remember.
You talking about Brotherhood of the Wolf?
Yeah.
The
Wolves of Saint Augustine. Okay. So I'm a fan of that one, but my flick that is very underrated, that should have gotten a hell of a lot more love, that I felt is like a meta take on the greatest horror writer of all time.
Scary Movie 3?
No, Stephen King. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate the fandom there, Travis. No, but I always felt it was based a little bit on. Yeah, I always felt it. Oh, Travis, if you want to come on, brother, let me know. I'll send you the link, baby. Whatchamacallit? In the Mouth of Madness. Anybody saw it? They know about the kid on the bicycle in the highway. That is a creepy freaking scene, but it takes place in the New England area. It's about an author, and Arthur. Yeah, I'm not saying that it ties directly into Stephen King, but you could find meta moments in there that's like, oh, Are they referencing this? Are they referencing that? And if you get a chance, watch
It's a lot of Stephen King mixed in with Lovecraft.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's a lot of Stephen King mixed in with Lovecraft. So
100%, dude.
when it comes down to the popularity of the writer and all that stuff, that's the Stephen King stuff. The real creepy, otherworldly stuff, that's Lovecraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with it. I loved it. And it's Sam Neill. Sam Neill's a horror icon.
I was just looking up. I was like, what's his name?
Sam Neill, right? Forget about Jurassic Park for a second, but he has a solid trilogy of horror films.
Mm-hmm.
The Omen.
Yep.
Right? Event Horizon.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was good too.
And In the Mouth of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sam Neill is what's a scream queen for a man?
There isn't one.
Scream Dude.
I don't think.
Right, because he never
Dude, Screamer?
he never was engrossed in makeup, right? He had some special effects makeup, but he wasn't an iconic character like Freddy Krueger, right?
So is he's the big bad in that?
No.
So then
Jordan-
you're
Jordan
likening him to
Bernthal.
Freddy Krueger and stuff.
No. I'm just saying that he's got those 3 flicks under his belt. He's a horror icon, and he deserves the credit for being a horror icon.
Fair enough.
In the Mouth of Madness, one of my favorite movies. I'll probably watch it before Halloween. So one of the movies like for this month I end up watching.
It's hard for
I
me
gotta
to
s-
watch. It's
I
hard
gotta
for me
see
to
where
watch.
it's streaming.
There's something
I
creepy
have it on
about
Blu-ray.
the little old lady that you
Mhm.
see at a bed and breakfast who
Yeah.
checks you in, standing on the body of the person she just decapitated,
Her
holding an axe
husband,
behind her back.
her husband who
Damn.
actually pain to her. That's
Alrighty
straight
then.
up Lovecraft, bro.
Woo, boy! Right, and it's just present the visual, nothing more. Let your mind do the work, man.
This is why I don't leave New York City.
Yeah, because there's no horror movies set in the city.
But there's horror movies.
None that I think about. None that I
Saw?
think about.
Saw set in the city.
Saw doesn't
Saw,
count
is it?
for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Saw
What's
set
the
in the
road
city.
It
trip
doesn't-
that Guillermo did?
Huh?
The what?
Oh, Mimic.
Mimic, yeah.
Mimic was set in the city.
Mhm.
I don't know what that one is.
Yeah. That's a roach. that
Deliver
did
Us from
horrible-
Evil was set in the city. Eric Bana played a NYPD cop. Remember that?
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
What else?
A bunch
I
of
don't know.
stuff. Vampires in the Bronx on Netflix. It was a kid's flick, but whatever.
Yeah, Vampires versus
Vampires
the
don't
Bronx.
count.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Vampires do count.
They don't. Not for me.
One beer.
Not
One
for me.
beer.
This is why I can watch all vampire stuff without really getting horrified by it.
Oh, speaking of vampire stuff, one of my honorable mentions. Thank you for the segue that you didn't mean to give me. We've talked about this on the podcast before, a long time ago. 2021 Netflix movie, and I don't know what country it's from, but Dominic Purcell. You know who Dominic Purcell is?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Prison Break.
Yeah, or
Dracula from Blade 3.
wasn't
Yeah.
he also Captain Cold's brother in the
Yes.
those terrible?
Yeah.
And,
we don't
anyway.
want to bring that up. We don't want to bring that up, bro.
Yes, you do. It wasn't that.
Blood
There
Red
was a
Sky.
Captain brother's friend.
Which one?
Blood Red Sky on Netflix. Do you remember this one?
Yes.
Where the mother
Yes.
of a child is on a plane that gets hijacked by terrorists, and she has a rare blood disorder where she's taking medication. She's going to go see a doctor somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Yes.
So the terrorists take over the plane, and she's like, well, the only way I'm going to save, because they're planning to kill everybody. They're going to sacrifice the entire plane. That's part of their deal. No hostages. And she's like, the only way I can save my son is if I stop taking this medication that's suppressing my change, and just go full vamp.
That was a good
And
flick.
it was pretty good. I don't remember why that one resonated. I think I like these kind of. So what's the term for a movie that takes place in kind of like just one location? I know there's a term for it. I always kind of ridicule those as like they're low budget, Like, oh, the whole thing is in one house, so that they couldn't afford to go,
Well, single,
Like Hateful Eight.
well, a single set, like
There
like
you
the
go.
Honeymooners. Like the Honeymooners was just like one set. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the original. Like
Yeah.
it's a single
But
set.
so like in this case, 90% of the movie is on a plane.
Mhm.
And then I won't spoil the last 10%, but that it's exciting as well.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was
Blood Red
good.
Sky on
I
Netflix,
forgot
still on
Dominic
Netflix.
Purcell was in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he didn't do anything special in it. It didn't have to. He didn't have to be in that. But I just mentioned it because I think that's the only reason it went to Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lead actress looks a lot like, and I'm gonna mispronounce her name, Numi Rapace.
Yes.
But it's not her.
But it's not
You're
her,
gonna be
no.
doing triple takes. It's not her.
All right. What era, what decade do you guys think had the best horror movies?
80s.
All right, so
80s.
pause, because the answer to this is going to depend on when you were a kid, right?
80s.
Because the worst, most scary horror movies are going to be from when you watched them as a kid when you weren't supposed to be watching them.
Okay, so let me add these guidelines to it.
Okay.
All right. Is it the biggest scares? Is it the best chain? Right? Or is it the most memorable moments came from these eras?
All right.
I would also say the 80s, but that's because of what I said before. A lot of those long-running franchises that started in the 80s scared the shit out of me as a kid because I shouldn't have been watching them. So the Nightmare on Elm Streets, the Halloweens, even the Jasons, the Hellraisers, the Wishmaster, we can go on, like all those in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid in the 80s, scared the hell out of me,
Yeah. Calderon, what was that you were going to say?
I was gonna say that some of the scarier movies that I've seen have been modern movies. The Witch,
which is good.
very, very slow-paced movie that's really, really that will just get under your skin, right? Because when she's frying up the baby, it's like one of those things where it's just like at first you're like, what is she doing? And then you realize it. You're like,
that is a brand new sentence.
Right. Then you're like, another one's Midsommar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Midsommar is one of those movies just like, oh.
Damn. I felt Midsommar kind of, I don't want to say stole, but was heavily influenced by both The Wicker Man and Cannibal Holocaust.
I saw Wicker Man. I didn't see Cannibal Holocaust, but yeah.
It's been a while for
Cannibal horror. Oh, okay. What else? What else you got there, Calderon?
A Serbian film, perhaps the most vile film I've ever seen.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, like seriously, like that's not a rated R movie. That's XXX. Like that is
Which one is it? What's it called?
A Serbian film. And the thing is, what's funny is, right, that's the sentiment right there. Too much. The thing is that I saw the movie. Right afterwards, there's a mini documentary. It's the director talking about it. And he said everything that occurred in that film happened during the Serbian War. He said everything in that film happened in that war. That's why he wanted to make the film.
Is it fiction?
Not according to the director.
Oh, so that's probably another reason that it could freak you the hell out. Like, for instance,
it's a very disturbing film because it's very human. You understand? I don't even think is it a horror movie or is it just a thriller? You understand? I think it's, what I mean?
think it is categorized as splatter horror and suspense mystery.
You can fit it underneath all that.
Categorized as Jerry will not watch.
Man, you want to traumatize yourself? That's the movie to do it.
That's the kind of stuff like I can watch a horror movie with crazy amounts of gore, where bodies are getting ripped apart, whatever, turned inside out. But if I have any inkling of watching something like that that I know is real, I cannot. Like
Did
I
you,
found like a security cam footage of someone getting run over, I can't watch it,
Yeah.
did you
even though I
see,
know.
was it Human Centipede?
Yes,
All right, the
disgust.
first
Yeah,
one. Right, the first one. And here's the thing, interesting thing about the first movie. If you watch it, it's very sanitary. You don't see anything. Right? They don't show you anything. Really.
not really. You're
No,
right.
they don't show you anything really. You understand? Everything's left
That's
to your
the
mind.
Yeah,
Right,
and
it's
that's where
left
you
to your mind.
over you.
When
Yes,
you
that's
see
true.
that guy's face and he's like, he's trying to hold it in, and then he
Ooh,
apologizes. He's like,
ooh,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
I mean, it's just one of those things. But you don't see, all you see is the guy's face.
Yeah,
It's
it's all
incredible.
implied.
It's
Yeah,
a really,
yeah.
really good piece of cinema, right?
It was debunked,
Faces
Dave.
of Death. Yeah.
It was
Faces of Death,
debunked. It's not. They
Yeah.
weren't real, but it's definitely intense. Yeah, I'm
Well,
like,
I don't know that monkey thing they did.
no, it was debunked. It was debunked.
Oh,
What
the
Faces
monkey?
of Death?
Yeah, the monkey brain scene was definitely debunked.
Oh, okay. Well,
100%
I
debunked. Yeah,
really hated those
Yeah.
fucking people.
you know what messed me up more
What?
was some Toxic Avenger, right? The trauma
that-
films,
That
right?
messed you up?
I'll lend you a Serbian film. Trust me. Toxic Avenger. You'll
You know,
forget.
Toxic Avenger, even watching it as a kid, didn't like it.
No,
It was
the
obviously
Serbian film
camp,
fucked up
right?
as a
Like it.
result.
it was camp, but it was distasteful,
Mm.
right?
Yes,
It was
that's
like
for sure.
it almost went into porn. You know, when he took the girl and he pulled down her pants, or was it the guy, and he put him on the hot rocks in the sauna. I was like, oh, that
Yeah,
fucked
but
me up.
that one was so over the top. Like it was so ridiculous that it's almost like it was a shock, but it wasn't like scary. It wasn't like creepy or terrifying.
Oh,
That's more
definitely
like
creepy.
I mean,
Right. All right,
Yeah.
so let's say a movie like Battle Royale. All right, Dave's in the chat. I don't know if you guys saw it, Jerry. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
The Hunger Games was based on it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But Battle Royale was not a new concept. Battle Royale had been done before. It's based off of The Perfect Game, a book that was turned into the movies in the 1940s with Vincent Price, right? Where they were being hunted on a certain land. But it got expanded upon. Now, do you consider Battle Royale to be a horror movie
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
today?
No.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bit of Lord of the Flies. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Lord
mean,
of
it
the
could-
Flies, suspense thriller, maybe.
It could go
Yeah.
down that path, but I don't think that one specifically is. There was another one. So this concept has been made multiple times, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So the most recent one that I can think of that I enjoyed was the one with, and I'm gonna forget her name, the actress that was in Glow, like the blonde actress in Glow. What's her name?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Hunt. The Hunt.
Hunt. Yeah. the
Yeah,
Hunt.
Yes.
I know it. I saw that one.
I mean, that one was enjoyable because of, I mean, she's kind of she has good comedic timing
Right.
in that movie, but not knowing what's going on at first, I don't
Okay.
necessarily think that would be a horror movie.
No.
Well, okay, because it was pitched as a splatter film because
Now-
of what happened to the kids, but
Now, when you
because
say-
it was done to death.
Now, when you say Battle Royale, do you mean the Jap? Because I remember the
Yeah,
Japanese.
yeah, he's talking about the
Yeah.
Japanese one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
The
if you wanted, I would say if you wanted to see a horror movie out of Japan, go find Uzumaki.
So
Somebody said that.
It-
Somebody said that in the Instagram chat.
Yeah, because that's currently running on. They're doing the anime, I guess, on
yeah,
Netflix.
Yeah.
that's-
But there's a
On
live
Max,
action.
yeah.
There's a live
Yeah.
action movie.
Right.
that I've heard is
I want to
That's
go,
good.
but since I jumped back into the Instagram chat, I want to join. I want to thank everybody who's joining us there. Albita, William Sang, and the Savage One. Thank you for chiming in. If you want to be part of the chat, please check us out on YouTube. Comic
give us
Book
some of your
Streamland.
favorites, some of your
Yeah,
underrated.
let us know. All right, so David is saying that Battle Royale is more dystopian
Yeah.
than it was horror. Okay, I'm with that.
Well,
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
But see, the lines start to blur, right? Because when it becomes dystopian, you can talk about Running Man, which was written by Stephen King under a pen name. right? That's dystopian. Was that horror?
No.
No. That's
No, I don't think so.
No.
I mean, I would go like horror has to have, and this is good. I'm thinking of it as I'm talking. So like,
Yeah.
it's got to have some shock factor, right? Some scariness. Some maybe if it's a monster or some big bad, some kind of mischievous force or
Does
whatever the hell it is in the
Does
background.
it?
Something that can cause fear and dread, right? And I think more dread than fear, because yeah, you can be afraid that you're going to get killed in an arena fighting other people or something, or in some kind of game, but that doesn't like inspire dread in the viewer. You know what I mean? Like
No.
if you have some mysterious entity in a house somewhere that you know the character in the movie is trying to get away from, or is trying to find, or is is being hinted at or something, like that can cause you dread because you're trying to put yourself in those shoes. But do you really find yourself finding that same kind of fear watching something like Battle Royale, or a watered down version like
Well,
The
see,
Hunt? Or
the same question could be asked, I think, of a movie like Hard Candy with a young actress who went, a young actor who was still going by the name Ellen Page at that time.
I didn't see that one. So
And
yeah, I mean, that's definitely. Listen, anytime someone's gonna chop off your balls, that's a horror movie. Sorry, it's a horror movie. That's what she was there for to do. She was there to punish a guy for being a child molester.
Right.
She did.
the Chris Hansen special.
Right.
I
So
agree with Ryan.
we talk about Ichi the Killer. I think, was it Ichi the Killer? That was the
that's not really a horror movie. Ichi the Killer is a good movie. Don't get me wrong.
which one was it? Because I know it's from Takahashi Miki.
That's one of his.
No, but there was one. There was one that Hard Candy was, I think, was based off of, and it was the film producer who was taking advantage of the actresses that were coming to his shop for test screenings, and then one of them flipped it on him. And I think it was a Takahashi Miki movie. I forgot what it was. David, David in the chat, if you know which one it is, brother, please chime in. I know Rich, the Savage one, if he's still watching, he said super gore, not horror.
Right.
Right. So that's where, like, I know you mentioned earlier, horror has many subgenres to it, right? But I feel like some of those subgenres go off on a tangent enough where it loses the horror element for me. So like, if you mention a slasher or something that has a killer, let's say like American Psycho, for instance, like he's a serial killer and he kills people, with gory fashion, but that's not a horror movie.
Yeah,
right?
I don't consider those horror movies.
That's not a slasher, even though there is killing and slashing. That's
But
that's more of like
the original Jason movie. Like those are slasher films. Later on when he becomes his unkillable demon zombie thing, that's different.
It got Fast and Furious.
Right.
Yeah.
Then that's different, but initially like that and Halloween. I mean, I guess there was that stuff with the mother coming out of the lake or whatever.
But all right, so let's think of out of the box horror for me. So like Aliens.
Would Alien? Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Aliens or Alien?
Aliens. Second
The
one.
second one.
That's
Really?
That's a horror movie.
No.
not really. It's an action
No, the
adventure.
first
No,
one's
scary
something
film.
Alien. I'm sorry. Alien. Not
Alien,
Aliens.
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah, that's a horror movie.
That's a horror
Yeah.
movie.
Space.
Yeah.
It's in space.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So that kind of like, that's not what you would normally think of as horror movie, but that has the intensity, the dread, the fear, the stuff that I'm telling you you need to
It
build
has
up.
the
At
trope.
least for me.
Mhm.
For me.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
So it doesn't have to be a slasher
Uh-oh.
in order. It doesn't have to be kills,
He's down again.
all the time. Yeah, we were almost going to celebrate. No, so but it does have to have some kind of element to get your heart racing, get your heart, I don't know.
All right, wait.
Um,
Okay, so I have one that I don't know if it qualifies as a horror, but the thriller aspect and the heart racing aspect, Mindhunters, 2004. Cool J. They're all FBI trained.
LL Cool J. God damn.
Behavioral analysts. Mindhunter. Mindhunters.
When you say that, I think of the Netflix
You
show.
think of the yes, because they were yes. No, this was. They are all agents, and they were sent to a specific location for their final training, where they have to go through a specific thing in this house, where there are different floors that contribute to what they would have to go through if they were agents out in the field. But one of them is not who he says he is. One of them is double-crossed. And you don't know who it is throughout the whole thing. You don't know until the very, very end. And even at the very end, you question it for a moment, and then you realize, with everything being layered and shown to you and all that, but everything that's happening to them across as the movie progresses is happening in the same aspect that you would of a usual horror movie. But it could be considered more of a thriller.
Yeah, so psychological thriller movie.
Yeah, 100%. The reason I like it is because it gives me more of a psychological thriller than it does the full horror that you can expect.
Okay, but I wouldn't. I mean, here. I'm gonna give you.
So like The Cell with J-Lo.
Yeah, I'm gonna read off. Here's a quotation for you, right, from H.P. Lovecraft. Okay. The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. Yeah. Right. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole basis behind cosmic horror, right? Cosmic horror is when you walk to the edge of the cliff and you see the thing coming, and you know there's nothing you can do. Nothing. You know, it's literally, you know.
So would you consider a movie like The Mist?
Yes.
H.P. Lovecraft movie.
Yes. There's definitely.
That's a horror movie for sure.
Yeah. Stephen King, that's him lifting right out of Lovecraft. Trust me, I don't think he'd deny it in a second.
Okay.
You know?
Right? Yeah. I think the best line in that flick is, people are inherently good, but if you put them in a stressful situation, they will do the worst things imaginable. Right? And somebody who is not doing the worst things imaginable.
Wow, he really can't speak.
Goddamn segue, man.
Out there. Wow. Woo! Is my man.
Yep. Oswald. Here's the Oswald Chronicles. Passing Queens and Making Homes 1 through 6, now in full color. So, you know, originally it was published in black and white, but now it's in full color. So we're bringing it back out. And this is the story of a young boy named Jones. He's a noble, and he's trying to prove himself. You know, he's trying to prove to his father and to his people that he's worth something, because he's not the firstborn. So he's like the 5th or 6th born son of a noble, which means you're nothing, right? You would get a knighthood. They were like, yo, kid, go make your way in the world. I says, you know, you'll always have something, but you're really nothing. You understand? A lot of these guys became knights, and they had to fight their way up. This is where they got a lot of the Knights Templar from. Okay. From this kind of mentality, right? And they had to prove themselves, you know, and that's what this kid is trying to do. And I mean, we've all, you know, as guys, I'm sure for our fathers, we've all always wanted to hear our dad say, you know, good job, right? Or pat you on the back or something along those lines. And this is what this kid is looking for, you know? And along with this, he has his little sister, and they're trying to save their people. You know, their people are basically taken over by a tribe of orcs, and the orcs are run by an evil queen, and she's a sorceress, and she's taken over their father's mind. And with Oswald, he's trying to help them out to recover their kingdom. You understand? Their father, basically, you know? So that's the basic crux of the story. You know, we got about, I think, another 48 hours left. Go check it out. You know, I think the work is solid. Illustrated by Jay Gonzalez. The colors are done by David Montoya, a good friend of mine. Used to work over at Milestone, and he did some work over at Broadway Comics. He did the colors on this for me. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the link is right in the comments. Please check it out, folks. Calderon has, as he said, 48 hours left. He is already funded, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah, we're already funded.
He's already funded. 48 hours left. So what, it ends on Sunday?
Yes. Right? Sunday at 9:30, but it'll end right after the show.
Oh, Oh, look at that. Way to set it up, buddy. Ooh.
Now, try to get me to mention it on the show.
Way to be. So that's your Kickstarter, and mine is coming up. We are going to be launching this finally on Thursday, October 17th.
The first day of Comic-Con.
The first day of Comic-Con.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
And we are going to be testing out the live stream potential in the Javits on Wednesday. And if it works successfully, we will run the live stream in the morning at the Javits for the launch. If it doesn't, then I will just launch it in the morning before I leave for New York Comic Con. And we'll chime in during the day and we'll reference it. Here's the pre-launch page. I love how the pre-launch gets a little bit more info in there. And currently we got 40 followers who are waiting for this bad boy. I'm hoping we get a hell of a lot more. But if you are going to be at the convention, please check out booth 1948. You will be able to see this bad boy live and in person and help us get this son of a gun funded. All right, we're looking to raise more than I have ever thought of raising in my life. Well, in my Kickstarter time, right? For somebody who's never broken 5 figures, we're asking for mid-5 on this bad boy. So I hope we can get there. Check out the figure, and you may be able to see a couple previews that are not on the page yet when we launch. So you'll have those opportunities. We're going to be running this son of a gun for 60 days. The campaign will end on December 7th. We need every last drop. This is Folgers, baby. We are squeezing it, right? So Saturday night, December 7th, is when this bad boy ends. 11 p.m. Yeah, we're going to be running a live stream for this mother. Yes, we will be doing what we used to do and have live streams where some of the backers will get certain prizes if funding is completed. So please join us. Please pay attention to what's going on in the campaign and in the updates, because we'll let you know what prizes are going to be available for this campaign. On top of all of that, I do not want to get sent to the couch for the rest of my life. So please help me get this son of a gun funded. If you want to see me come back to this world, we got to get this bad boy. No, he's going to be 1/18 scale. For those of you who do not know, that's approximately 4 inches. That is going to be the size of what folks remember the old Star Wars or the old G.I. Joe figures to be. It's a popular scale. I tell you exactly why we are doing it in that scale in the preview, in the pre-launch page. And that's because we're kind of running out of space as collectors. And so I want something for you to fit in the shelves and the space that you got left. And, it's also going to be something that's easier for us to carry to conventions. So, again, I hope you check this out. I hope you jam with us. The links to both campaigns are in the comments. If you are catching us on the restream, this is Shield of the Interceptor, the action figure and comic book on Kickstarter. And you just saw or listened to the Oswald Chronicles. That is also available on Kickstarter for the next 48 hours, folks.
48 hours.
Wow. This is it. This is all hands on deck. But this is DEF CON 7. DEF CON.
That's not how DEF CON works.
I don't know how it works. Okay. So you know what? DEF CON 1. This is a
Go to bed.
He created 2 extra lower levels. He just went into the second sub basement.
You know what's funny? That's how it's going to end up. Jesus Christ. That's how I hope it doesn't end up. And for those of you who know about our journey with this, there's a lot more to go, right? But we want to try to get one done first. We do not want to get to showing all of them off and I fall short by a couple of $1,000s, then to have none of them made. So
yeah, but if you do make it to New York Comic Con, you will be able to see more than just Interceptor
Yes.
to get an idea
Yes,
of
yes,
what the
yes.
others in the line will look like.
Yes, and that'll be at booth 1948, folks.
Also, JD's birth year.
No, it's not.
When they asked you for your booth number, Jay, why did you put your birth year in there?
Damn.
Yo,
Wow.
Could have had booth
Yeah,
1978.
Wow.
Say it, viejo, viejo.
you know
sucio.
what? You know what? How about this? I'm gonna own up to that. And last year at the booth, all those farts that I blamed on Jerry, I'm gonna own up on them this year.
No.
And I'm gonna make
None of
sure
that.
you feel every
Oh,
last
none of
one of
that.
it, baby. Okay.
None of that.
Yeah.
I'll stand outside the booth this time.
Blamed on Jerry.
Damn.
Oh, I mean, excuse me. All those that I blamed on people passing by the booth.
Oh, I see how it is now. Now I understand why Ryan left and didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesus.
What do you think
He's had
Calderon
this
when he came from
impression.
one day to the convention last year? He was like,
Oh,
I
my
can't stand the
goodness.
smell of this motherfucker. You know?
5 days left till Comic-Con. So
5 days left, folks. So I hope.
what else can people look forward to at Comic-Con, Jay?
Okay,
Besides the pins.
besides the pins, we're gonna have a bunch of books. We're gonna have artist Andres Barrero there with me, who is the artist on Shield of the Interceptor. So we'll be signing books for all of you who are passing by. He's also the artist on New York versus the World #1. We will be having, for the first time, a very special collector's box, which is going to be saving people $30 off if they buy all of the stuff individually. So there will be about $80 worth of merch in there in the box for collectors only. We'll be going for $50, and it'll have a premium cover of issue #1, which is a holochrome cover. It'll have issues 1, 2, and 3. It'll have 3 pins that are of the 2-inch variety. It will have holochrome cards, and it will have stickers. It will have a few other tchotchkes in there as well. So the estimated value is approximately $80, but we'll be selling it to collectors for only $50. Great opportunity for you guys to get a big lot of things for a small price. We will also have original art. We will have posters. We will have trading cards. We will have T-shirts. We will have shot glasses. This is our Super Bowl weekend. This is home field advantage. We are bringing the kitchen sink there. And I can't wait for you guys to come through. Even those who have supported the Kickstarters in the past, come through with your books and we'll sign them off for you, man. Right? Come let us know what you thought about it and just chew the fat with us. Sometimes it leads to new ideas. There you go. All right. Booth 1948, Unstoppable Comics. Same spot that we were in last year. And I can't wait to see all of you. Oh, here we go. We got Dave chiming in before we cut out. I have a request of a collage of the cosplayers standing next to the sign. I haven't seen that done in the past couple of years. Dave, I got to say that the sign is changing because we have so much more merch than we've ever had. The booth is changing slightly. So we will still have cosplayers coming through. We got, Ryan running that collage in the background, but it won't be the same setup, the same exact setup. There will be some adjustments. And I can't wait for you guys to come and check it out. Booth 1948, October.
5 days.
Through
5 days.
20th. I'll see you there. And before we get out, we're going to ask everybody to let them know where else they can find them, starting with Mr. Calderon.
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those different places. DeviantArt, and the JD Calderon, the OswaldChronicles.com, TallTalesOnline.com, and this Sunday, and most important, Kickstarter with the Oswald Chronicles. But this Sunday, I'll be back with this guy up above.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll be doing. I mean, he paid me off this week, so what the hell?
Yeah.
We'll be back on Sunday with another group of independent comic book creators, and we'll be talking about comic books and independent comics.
Nice. Yep. Jerry, where can they find you, brother?
You can find me in front of my television watching the Mets win another series.
God damn it, stole my answer almost to the letter.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Ryan, where can they find you, brother?
You can find me in front of my television watching the New York Yankees the New York Giants, and hoping the New York Mets make it to the World Series so the Yankees can beat that ass again. No, but come find
Wow,
me at
man.
booth 1948 at New York Comic Con Wednesday. Excuse me, not Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday coming up next week. It's gonna be fun. Come chat, come take pictures, hang out. You know, maybe a couple of honey jacks in the mix. We'll see what happens.
Excellent.
Will be fun. And of course, unstoppablecomics.com, YouTube at El Duro and Just Duro, IG as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I would have said you could find me on Sunday watching the Jet game, but since I gave up on the team like they gave up on the coach, I'm doing something else. I'll be getting ready for the New York Comic Con with our last minute stuff. It's always a scramble, and I'll be getting ready to have fun on Calderon show. And I'm celebrating my birthday on Monday, y'all. So
they made it a holiday. That's crazy.
They made my birthday a holiday. It is the day of Unstoppable. Forget about fighting out what you should call it, who believes in what, who's going to go where. It is a day of Unstoppable celebration for this guy right here. And we're going to be at New York Comic Con 1948. Thank you all for watching us. Thank you for coming in on the restream. And if you're checking us out later on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, please let us know that you put this on the restream. Wow, restream does work for the spooky season. Please let us know that's when you found us. I appreciate it. And don't forget to drop that hammer of Thor on the like, subscribe, and share buttons for us. It's going to help us get this stuff out there. It's going to help us get other projects of other people that are coming on later on funded along with ours. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Deuces.